Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. This is where we hang out a little bit longer, and we'd love to get to know you better, too. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram if you haven't done that. We also have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, and we would love to get to know you.
We'll go Facebook Live this week, too. Well, you guys
cool.
don't know that, but I am.
Okay, excellent. So this is specifically for type A personalities or control freaks of the world. And I guess I think I'm a little less type A than I used to be. Do you think I'm still a control freak, Jodi? You and I are married.
You are really, what's so funny about you is that when I first met you, you were definitely a control freak and type A. And then over the years, I feel like you've spoken it into existence. You know how because I'm not that way anymore. And you used to say that, and my eyes would be like, okay. And, I'm not that way anymore. I'm working on not being that way. And you're not now. But it's because you've put the work in. It's not because you've really spoken it into existence. But you've just gotten better. You do self-work. You actually do self-work.
Yeah, and I think that is what has helped. And that's really what I wanted to share, because when we were talking about the solo vacation and and the fact that the solo trip, Sam, like you said as well, you get to choose what you want to do when, and that's fun, and and there's a lot to be said for that, and
that's not for everybody, obviously.
I still consider myself an in-charge type. It's in my DNA. It's who I am. It's the place I'm going to gravitate to.
Yes.
But I've learned to really start to enjoy relinquishing control of some things, to the point where, like, for example, the reason that I work out with someone instead of me doing my own workout, I actually like giving up control there.
Nice.
She's in charge. She's telling me what to do. She's, I'm following her guidance and her direction. It's coaching is what it is. It's not just pick up this bar and lift it 10 times. It's the posture and making sure that I'm doing it correctly. And I feel like for that hour workout, and I've told her that, it's just like, it is really good for somebody who is used to being a leadership, kind of control mindset, proactive type, to be able to still do something productive, but it's at the guidance of somebody else.
Right.
And a lot of, and the same thing really with, Jodi and I think through the years, because we're both pretty type A. I mean,
Sam knows us better. I mean, then we can even see ourselves.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
But
yes,
right, and but I think we trade off nicely on that now. Like, for one thing that we've started to do on Saturdays, which I love, is we don't have the only part of the plan is get out of the house and just go. Where we go, no idea.
Yet.
It just kind of falls together. And with every other day of the week having this incredible structure that it does have, with the early morning hours of the show and all that kind of stuff, it's really nice.
I need the freedom of Saturday.
It's fun. And then sometimes, we'll do that together, but I still feel like it's, it's giving up control of just a different type. And then, of course, we'll do our solo and our individual time together like that.
I need that in my life, very, very much so. From a woman's perspective, I get asked the question all the time. I got asked it in front of you yesterday. You work with your husband? How do you do that? And
very carefully.
Well, it's just, I think that it has its ups and downs, and it has its good sides too, because we get to share and see a part of each other's life that other spouses don't.
Yeah.
And so that's the good upside. And the hard part about it is that you have to focus, and we've talked about it a lot, about making sure there's separation so that the lines don't get blurred. You don't get burned out because work comes home too often, and you're not too personal at work. But I think that because of working together, it sort of forces you to separate on your own and do more of your own solo things.
Yeah.
And in that, hopefully, you find yourself more.
Yeah.
I want to have, interests and hobbies and things that have nothing to do with you, Murphy, and nothing to do with Murphy, Sam, and Jodi. And I want that.
Yeah,
and
I think that's important and very healthy.
Force myself to do it.
Yeah,
naturally.
So do you feel that are there any areas where you kind of crave being able to give up control? And when I say that, also, I mean really, it's the leadership of the leadership of others. is really kind of where I'm going with that. You know what I'm saying? In other words,
Yes,
where,
there are definitely times where I don't want to be in
allow
control.
yourself to actually follow the lead of others, for me, is really relaxing.
I can tell you from experience, Jody, and this might be a minor one, but whenever we travel,
Yes.
Jody just is like, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I love
Right.
that.
where's the next gate? Just tell me where it is. I'll
Right.
follow you.
Now,
where's the car? Tell me where to go.
Understand when I travel by myself, I'm not that person.
Oh, yeah, I
You
know.
know that. I know Murphy knows it. I think that you know it. I'm obviously more alert as I should be when I'm by myself, but I love because you both are so. Sam is as orderly and Murphy's a natural leader, so I know that you guys have got it.
Right.
Tell me what gate to be at and what time, and I'll be there. I don't even. Do I have to put this thing on my phone? My boarding pass, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that.
Mhm.
Well, at the beginning of the podcast when we were talking about type A and trying to develop and come out of that, and I don't know if some of that's just getting older. Some of it could be the practice of being aware and understanding that it's not the healthiest way to be, staying in charge, because you're not really going to be in charge all the time. And actually, none of us are as in charge as
No.
we actually think that we are. You know what I
Life
mean?
teaches you that.
Correct, exactly. And maybe those kinds of things cause you to kind of, turn around. Both of my parents
Mature.
passing, things like that, where you realize, okay, it's loosening control over things is actually very, very healthy
Freeing.
and very freeing and very therapeutic. And I guess those are really the two big cases. 'Cause I don't know that I ever really totally give it up. It's got to be something that I trust.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Jodi if Jodi wants to take charge of a situation. Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm talking about, Sam? Do you ever find yourself in situations where you let someone else just
I
take the
do,
lead and you feel good about
and
it?
with me, it's been a work of selfishness.
Okay.
Working on my selfishness.
Okay.
Because I like everything my way.
Yeah,
I'm
you
very
do.
stubborn and hard-headed when it comes to that. So when you take a solo vacation, guess who you argue with? No one. But when I do things with people and it's like, hey, we want to do this and we were going to, and it's like, that's not what I want to do. But sure. I mean, just like
You have a little internal.
just like you're working on, I
dialogue.
don't have to be in control all the time. With me, it's like, just go with
Right.
it. You may not want to do this, but you don't know what it's going to be like.
Correct.
Right.
And for once, do something that's not your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So to me, it's a selfishness thing, letting go of the selfishness and enjoying the other person's
I think
situation.
it makes sense. I think that's human nature too, especially if you've planned something out and it's
Yes.
what you want to do and then circumstances change suddenly.
Mhm.
I do think there are times where I probably have trouble changing on the dime.
Yeah, you do a little bit. I can tell you, talking about this, it comes to my brain, and I'm so glad it's not with the kids. I don't have trouble letting them live their life,
Right.
wear what they want, be who they are. Thank goodness. We're a solid family. I think we have been really good parents in supporting and guiding,
Yeah.
and not blurring those lines of being.
Controlling.
Not being controlling. We're not. What's the word I'm looking for?
Helicopter parent.
We've not been helicopter
Overbearing,
parent.
or-
Overbearing is the word. We've never been overbearing with them, but
Yeah.
we're always there when they need us. So I'm so grateful that that's not where it comes into play for me. But I do know where it comes into play for me, where I would definitely I do have trouble giving up control. It's in my home, and it's with the way things look and where they go. And I don't like it when you put potato chips up without putting the clip on them, things like that. And don't even get me started on when we're having a big party. And that's a stupid little thing, but when we're having a bunch of people over, here's the perfect example. My cousin Candace, and I adore her. I would do anything for her. I would lie down in front of a train for her. And she would do the same for me. She showed up to help. So it's a surprise party for surprise Taylor for Taylor's graduation party.
Yeah.
And she was there, and she was up that morning helping me, and I was doing all the boards, and she started helping me. And in my mind, wait, I want to do this board this way.
Yeah.
And she helped me with the flower arranging, and I had to let that go and let her do that. And actually, she did a great job. I learned some tricks from her.
Mm-hmm.
So you do benefit from relinquishing control where you normally would have it, because you learn, even if it's a little uncomfortable. But it's my house. I want things where they.
Sure.
You don't normally care where things are, but I really do, Murphy.
Of course I care where things are.
Well,
that's why I'm the drawer organizer. That's why I fixed our, all those things. I do care exactly where things are.
I understand what you're saying. With me, it comes down to the dishwasher a lot of times with me.
Yeah, Sam.
It's like if we have something at the house and my mom's, let me help you clean it. No. Just, I got this.
Yeah.
It's good. Let me put these in the dish.
Or if you could let her do it, then when she leaves, you would want to change them.
And I have done that before, too.
Yeah.
That's about control, too.
Well, I think the best thing you can do for yourself is to really stop yourself and ask why. Why is it that why does it have to be the way that you want it to be?
Yeah.
And if you stop long enough to think about that and realize, maybe it's not. I know that Jodi and I will be celebrating 25 years of marriage in November. And we've gotten to a place where you realize there are certain, if something starts to become an argument, you catch and you go, this is not worth talking. This is not worth arguing about.
No.
And then you just move on. And that's nice too. And maybe that's what's helped me with some things, because I'm certainly very particular with certain things. I'm very particular with electronics.
I don't even breathe on electronics.
Right.
There's no point. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm very picky on those when it comes to certain purchases of things where I do comparison shopping and Consumer Reports, and I mean.
That's why I don't buy you electronics anymore.
But there aren't that many. So I might have trouble relinquishing, control of that sort of thing. But it's very peaceful to get to a place where you just challenge it for a minute. And if you decide it is important and you want to still do it, well, then go for it. It's fine,
Mm-hmm. What you're talking about is what you're talking about too, Sam. What we are discussing here is self-work.
Yeah. The
work that you hopefully do on yourself as you grow and mature into life.
Yes.
Hopefully you do work on yourself. I mean, I think it kind of happens. Life shows you that you need to bend or you'll break.
And I think a lot of that too comes with maturity and age and being married 25 years as opposed to being married 3 years. You learn each other over that time. Yes. And not only do you learn, Murphy, to back off, this isn't important, but on the other side of that, you learn, well, this is important to Jodi, so we're going to do it that way.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
As we get closer to the anniversary, I think we can literally share, 25 years, we could share 25 stories of things we've learned along the way. And what we've learned is, you and I, different than another couple would be.
Yeah, it's different.
Every single marriage is different, and every single couple is different, and no one can know what it is inside of a marriage except those two people.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And there are high points and there are uglies, and there's a whole lot in between. Yeah. So, but there have been more high points, just for the record.
I think so, too. Right. Like you had to get that in, huh?
Yeah. So be sure to subscribe to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast. If you aren't a regular subscriber already, we would love to have you along. And please do the same for our YouTube channel.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.